of Uganda, where, of course, one of the challenges is that some illnesses are hard to treat, and one of the reasons is that some of these patients actually always or usually need some blood transfusion of sorts. And of course, blood transfusion has a lot of pros and cons to it, and today we want to understand what are some of these pros and cons that relate to blood donation and blood transfusion. How sick must you be, or who is eligible to get a blood transfusion, and at what stages of life can you be told that actually now you need some blood in your body? All this in today's Issues at Hand. You are most welcome. Thank you so much for keeping it Church of Uganda Family TV, and as usual, my name is Karen Wamani, and we are here to discuss some of these issues. Remember, we are powered by Protea Hotel, by Marriott Entebbe, comfort and luxury at its best, and of course they are promising you a very, very good time in case you are visiting them in this festive season. Remember, we are on social media at Church of Uganda Family TV. Please do not forget to check out our social media platforms, and if you leave a comment, we will rightly get back to you. Remember, we are live also on YouTube, and you can follow through with the conversation. Now, to carry us through today's conversation that is about safe blood donation, and of course in this festive season we are being encouraged to come out and donate blood. We are going to understand some of these myths about blood donation. Some people out there in our society and community are scared to donate blood because they think it's dangerous to their health. They think when they donate some little blood, it will affect the rest of the blood that they have, and they believe they will die if they donate blood, which is a myth, and it's not true. We are here to look at some of these things and set the records straight. With me in studio to discuss or to guide the discussion is Kasozi Brian. He is the Officer Electronic Blood Donor Recruitment at the Uganda Red Cross Society. As you can see on our screens, he's already branded in the attire of the Red Cross, and he's going to take us through the discussion. Hello, you are most welcome, Mr. Kasozi Brian, to Church of Uganda Family TV. Kindly say hello to the viewers and we start the discussion.
Thank you so much. Good morning, our viewers. My name is Kasozi Brian. I'm an electronic blood donor recruitment officer at Uganda Red Cross Society.
What does an electronic blood donor officer do?
My duty, or the role I do at the Uganda Red Cross, is making people fall in love with blood donation using all electronic platforms like the social media platforms and the TVs and radio stations.
Why should I fall in love with blood donation?
To start with this,
why should a person out there watching you, maybe not me, but a person out there watching you, fall in love with this agenda of donating blood?
Okay. Before answering that, I want to give you a brief background of our mandate as the Uganda Red Cross Society. This blood donor recruitment program is done in partnership with two organizations, that is Uganda Red Cross and Uganda Blood Transfusion Service. Uganda Red Cross Society, our mandate is to mobilize donors, recruit and create awareness, while for the Uganda Blood Transfusion Services, they do collect blood, they test and they group the blood. Back to your question, why should a person fall in love with blood donation? The need is still there. We have people that need blood transfusion on a daily basis, and currently we can only satisfy 80% of the needs. Sometimes when you talk about numbers, usually people don't relate. But when I talk about 80%, that means we are losing 20% of the people. Those are the mothers, the children, and the accident victims, of which that is a big number.
Okay.
And likely enough, you and I can do something. We can come out and donate blood because there is no factory for blood.
Yeah.
It is you and I to donate the blood that the patients need to save their lives. Yep.
All right, talking about the need for blood and this particular donation, what is the process of blood donation? Say I arrived at your tent, because I usually see Red Cross tents out there. If I arrive, then what is the process? Take us through the process of blood donation.
The process is not that tiresome. If I told you to donate blood, we usually encourage you to have something to eat and drink before the donation process. Then when you come to our tent, you are going to be welcomed by our volunteers. You are going to be given a seat, and we usually have a form that you fill. That form has quite many questions, and for those questions that they usually ask you, we want to know if at all you are fit to donate. We usually do some tests, but also we can tell that the person is fit to donate through those different questions.
Okay.
Then after the questionnaire, you are going to be tested if at all you have enough blood. Usually I hear some people telling us that, Musao, today I'm not going to donate because I don't have enough blood. And we are like, how did you know that you don't have enough blood before even carrying out a test? Then we test also for your pressure, whether it is high or it is too low or it's normal. Then after carrying out those tests and you're okay, we give you a bed where you go and donate from.
Okay.
After the donation process, we usually give you some drinks and a biscuit. The drink is to replace the fluid that you have lost from your body, and we usually tell you to rest. Some people say, so for me, I have another program somewhere I want to go. But we usually advise people to rest at least for 10 minutes after donation. Yes.
All right, so then let's get technical a bit. After you have actually collected this blood from, say, a number of people, and by the way, talking about biscuits, if you guys want to raise the number of people that are coming to donate, you should think about some food. People will come, I'm telling you. People love their food. Anyway, after you have collected this blood,
Yes.
where does it go? What happens to the blood that is collected? Because I understand we have some blood banks in Uganda.
Yeah.
We have the Nakasero blood bank. We have one in Arua. We have one in Gulu. We also have blood centers in Hoima, in Lira, in Jinja, and in Kabale, other areas around Uganda. So what happens to this blood once people have donated their blood? Then what?
After you have donated blood, usually people ask us, but Musao, for me, I had come to test for my HIV status, and now you're telling me that my blood is going to be taken somewhere. Okay, for the blood bank, we don't usually screen for blood at site. We have a machine at the different blood banks. It usually does the testing. That blood is taken to the blood bank, and it is screened for the different, we call them TTIs.
Okay.
And among those TTIs, we usually test for HIV, we test for hepatitis B and hepatitis C, and we also test for syphilis. If at all your blood is free from those diseases mentioned, then it is okay for transfusion. If at all they find any one of those listed diseases, that blood is usually burnt. And if at all you are keen enough, when you are usually donating, we usually take 3 samples from your blood. We have those different vacutainers that we usually collect samples from, and those samples help us when you're carrying out the different tests on the blood. Then that takes me also to these people that usually say, Musao, for me, I'm HIV positive, and I think we have also different HIV positive patients that would need my blood. For an HIV positive person, we usually recommend you not to donate blood, because when you are collecting this blood, we usually look at the donor safety, the person who is donating, is the person safe, and we also look at the patient's safety. Okay. So you cannot get infected blood and transfuse it to a patient, even if that patient is also HIV positive. They have different viral loads. Okay. Yeah.
That is good to learn. Okay, and the eligibility. We want to look at who is eligible to give blood. What you've mentioned that HIV/AIDS patients may not need to go through the hassle of donating. So if you're out there and you are HIV positive, maybe it's okay to sit this one out and say and pray for the people who actually are donating. Yeah. How about if I'm HIV negative, and what's the eligibility criteria of a person who wants to donate blood?
For HIV positive patients, they should not only play, but they should also help us mobilize. We have a lady who is having sickle cells.
Okay.
Sickle cells patients cannot donate blood. If at all a person has sickle cells, they cannot donate. But that lady has helped us in the mobilization process. She told us that they are the biggest consumers of blood. So they want a way how they can contribute back to the community, and that is through mobilization of other people to donate. Donate to who? Donate to them and other people that need the blood.
Okay.
So it applies also to HIV positive patients. But looking at the other side of the eligibility criteria, a person who is supposed to donate should be 17 years and above.
Okay.
We start from 17 to 65.
Okay.
And when we say 65, we are looking at regular blood donors, those people that donate blood regularly. And if at all you are not a regular blood donor, we just push it to 60, not 65.
Okay.
Then for the weight, you should be weighing at least 50 kgs, and you should not be on medication. You should not have chronic illnesses. If at all you are a woman, you should not be breastfeeding, and you should not be pregnant. You should also not be in your monthly periods. Yeah.
How much blood do you take off of a human being?
Usually we take 450 mils.
Does it matter? Because I'm sure that if you took a lot of blood from someone, they could end up ill. Is that factual?
Usually we have what should I say? There are those measurements that we usually take. We don't take less, we don't take more.
Okay.
And if at all we take, there are scenarios. It has happened. There are scenarios when a person is donating, and out of the blue, a person is like, I'm not feeling well. We just disconnect the needle from the vein, and we just put the blood there. If at all it is not 450 mils, we are going to discard that blood, even if it is okay.
Why?
We talked about donor safety. We talked about donor safety. We usually look at the safety of the donor and the person who is going to receive blood. And in that blood bank, we have what we call preservatives. And those preservatives work on measurements that are specific, 450 mils.
Oh.
So it is no less, no more. And usually those people that are like, Musa, we can pick from this vein and also pick from this vein. No. We usually pick from one vein, and we usually take 450 mils. So people usually say that they take a lot of blood. It is not a lot. That blood bag always comes with preservatives. So if at all you see it as a lot, we also have preservatives in there. Yeah.
Interesting. And now you've brought us to another issue of take from this side or this side. Why would you not do that?
We usually take one blood bag per person. So if a person is like, Musa will pick from this left, right vein and this left vein, those will be two blood bags.
Oh, you can't disconnect and connect the bag to another side?
No. Usually it is 450 mils per person.
Okay.
If at all you put this side, you are going to pick 450 mils, and you put this side, it is also another 450 mils.
Okay.
And of which you'll be not considering the donor safety, the person who is donating. Because if at all you pick a lot of blood from that person, they will end up fainting. And the reason is, it is this blood that transports oxygen to the brain. So if at all the levels go low, the person is going to faint, of which we don't want that. We look at the safety of the person who is donating and the safety of the person who is going to receive the blood.
Okay. And if I faint during or after the process, what is the quick medication or first aid that you give to such people?
Usually have had those scenarios, and usually they happen in schools. Yeah, and the reason as to why they happen is because usually people lie to us during the questionnaire. When you go to schools, you find these students, most especially the female. You ask the student, how old are you? They will tell you I'm 17 or 18, and in actual sense that student is 15 or 16. You ask them, have you had anything to eat? You know what they do in schools, they will tell you we don't eat posho. But when they come for blood donation, they will assure you that you have eaten something. Then you end up picking the blood from them, not knowing. Some people even have chronic illness, but when they come, they don't disclose to us. So they end up fainting. But Red Cross is also known for first aid. We usually give them first aid and they recover. And usually we don't leave the school or any donation site if at all we have not seen that person regaining back to normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about schools, how has your reception, how have you seen people receiving you very well down there in different schools? Because I know Red Cross is active in schools around Uganda, but as per donation, have you seen a lot of reception when it comes to that? Because there are some administrations of schools that do not encourage that. You know that, right?
Yeah. I know, but still it goes back to what is the perception from the community. Now, talking about schools, schools make 70% of our donor database.
Wow.
That means we collect 70% of the blood that feeds Uganda from schools.
Wow.
And for today, we are a bit worried because now the schools have gone for holidays. We have different schools. Some bigger schools usually support. You go there, the school administration will tell you, we have given you 2 days. Collect as much as you can. Then after 2 days, we are going back to studies, of which sometimes we look at those 2 days as not enough, but still we collect what we can to feed the patients in the different transfusing facilities. Now, our worry is, since the schools have gone for holidays, who are those people that are going to donate the 70%? Because we are asking ourselves, usually, what happens when these kids finish school? Because at school, they are donating. But life after school, we don't know where they go. Because when you go to community, you can only collect 30%, and we're like, where is this 70%? And now that is our worry, because we are heading for the festive season. Usually the accidents are high, even the different diseases like malaria, cancer are also high. So the need is always, or the demand is always high, but the supply is low.
How has the convincing process been for students? Because yes, the administration can tell you, yes, now you can go and donate. So now you have to put some marketing skills and say, excuse me, please come and donate. How has that experience of convincing students to come and donate been? Also, you know, students, when they're in one place, they want to know what's happening, so they may donate. But when they get out there, don't be shocked that in the community they are not there, because now they are in their own world and about life. But how has the convincing process been?
We are always worried about students getting out of school. But when in school, the administration usually gives us a day before to conduct what we call a blood donation talk.
Okay.
We usually conduct a blood donation talk. We tell them who is eligible, who is not eligible. And if at all you donate, you are donating to who. We tell them the need, and we tell them why they should donate. Then on the due day, they usually give us time to visit the different classes. From let's say senior 2, senior 3 up to senior 6. We tell them the need, and we tell them as the reason as why they are to donate. And they come freely, because blood donation is voluntary. But we have those people that usually, the students that usually come because one of their friends has come, and they also come. So we have different ambassadors in the different schools, and we have what we call Red Cross links in those different schools where I have different patrons. They help us in mobilizing those students, and we have what we call Red Cross clubs in those different schools. They usually help us mobilize those different students to come out and donate.
Okay.
And in schools, we have not so far had challenges. The challenge we have is in the community, and we usually see it is only in community where blood can be sustainable, because communities don't go for holidays. So we are looking for means of how we can effectively engage the community to participate actively in blood donation.
Thank you. I'm picking up something, and it's a bit worrying. You are constantly saying you're a bit worried because now that students have gone to school, you don't know where the blood is. It that bad as a country? Because now I'm sure I'm not the only worried person. Even the nation could be worried. Is it that bad that if students go home, then the blood situations, the blood donation situations hit a low, and should we be worried?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The yes side is, it is true. When students usually go for holidays, that is when we usually receive a lot of calls from the different transfusing facility. We have a patient of O minus, we don't have the type of blood. They're like, where are we going to get the donors? And we saw that coming, and we designed a database of blood donors. Usually of those unique different blood groups, because let me give you an example. A blood group called O minus or O negative is usually given to all people during transfusion. But when a person of O negative needs the blood group, they won't be able to find it. So they will usually call either blood bank or Uganda Red Cross to get the blood for them.
Okay.
And usually this happens during the holidays, because during school, the school days, if at all we get such a call, we usually have the blood. But during the holidays, the donors are limited. And the reason as to why the donors are limited are the different myths and perceptions people have around blood donation. If at all we can convince, if at all the community can manage to donate blood 100%, we won't have shortages.
Okay.
But let me give you a funny example. You find a person in a transfusing facility. They have a patient. That patient is of a unique blood group. They need that blood to save a life. You ask that person, have you ever donated blood? They'll tell you, no, Musa, I have never donated. And you ask them, where do you think the blood comes from? They will tell you, I think it is the responsibility of government to make sure that blood is available in hospitals. And you ask, where does the government get the blood? They will keep quiet. But they have a dying patient, sick on bed, they want the blood. So usually you should not leave the responsibility to Uganda Red Cross, to the blood bank, or to the different media stations. It is a responsibility of you and me. For me, I have donated so far around 58 times.
What? 58
and I have
times?
never been transfused.
In how long? In a span of how long?
Currently, I'm 28 years old.
Oh.
And I started donating when I was 17.
Okay, makes sense.
And now, for a male can donate 4 times a year.
Oh, okay.
And a female can donate 3 times a year. That is every after 4 months. For a male, every after 3 months. So for me, I make it a point to donate every after 3 months. But luckily enough, I have never been transfused. And the beauty about it is that when they do the transfusion, even I don't know the person who has got my blood.
Of course.
And the person who is receiving this blood will never tell you that Brian donated to me. So it is just that gift of life you give to a person. Because when you need the blood transfusion, they will tell you, the people that have ever been transfused, when you need the blood transfusion, it is a moment between life and death. They delay to transfuse you, you die. They transfuse you on time,
Yes,
you regain your life.
okay.
So blood is a key component. It is not like other medicines like Panadol or any other medicine. It is not manufactured. It is from me and you, and it is unique. Yes.
So Brian, what compelled you to give your blood 58 times? Is it the work that you do where you saw the need, or is it passion, pure passion, saying, okay, I am into this thing of helping others with their life?
Okay. For me, I did not know about Uganda Red Cross when I was still studying. That is funny enough. During my secondary life, I used to donate, but I was donating because of, they usually call it bandwagon.
Of course.
My other friend has donated. Let me challenge that friend of mine. And we usually trick the blood collection teams, because you should get one blood donation card. That card they usually fill for you. But for us, whenever the blood transfusion team came to our school, we were like, we have never got a card. And the reason as to why we are saying we have never got a card was to make sure that the cards we have just match the number of times you have donated. And we did not know that it was wrong, but we are still young, we are passionate about blood donation. Then luckily enough, I joined Uganda Red Cross. The only thing that compelled me to donate blood the more was one day I went to a certain transfusing facility. I'm not going to mention the name, because we tell the donors that if at all you have some challenges, you reach out to us. We are going to support you get the blood. So this person calls, the person was in a certain transfusing facility here in town, Kampala. So they told us, we need this blood. And the transfusion facility says they don't have the blood. So I got a cool box from the blood bank. We got the blood. Taking the blood to that transfusing facility, there are different wards. So we have children's ward somewhere. Then I was not going to the children's ward, I was going to casualty. Then as I was passing the children's ward, I found a mother who was crying. The son needed transfusion, but the blood was not there. And for me, I was carrying the blood. I don't know the blood, if at all they needed a different blood type. When I reached, those transfusing facilities usually have also mini blood banks inside where they keep the blood. So when you take the blood, you just have to take it to their different blood bank in that transfusing facility.
Okay.
When I took the blood there, as I was coming back to my way out, I found the kid was dead. And I was like, what caused the death? The transfusion facility did not have the blood. I was like, if at all kids can die in such a way, and I have the blood, I can do something, why don't I donate? Then it also became part of me. Whenever I could go to different transfusing facility, you are saving a person's life here, and then the other person is dying somewhere. And you're like, when will this thing end? And the thing that hurts most is losing mothers when they are trying to bring life to earth. And also losing the different children at birth. That hurts. So that usually compels me. We have a group. It is of around 13 people, and we're committed to donate, not until we die. And we usually donate after 3 months. We are all males. If at all we don't see any team, we usually take ourselves to the blood bank. And I'm also wondering why we don't have that culture of visiting the blood bank. The person will tell you, yes, I want to donate, but I want easy access. Is the team in the community? You're like, no, but you can go to the blood bank. We have Mengo blood bank here, and we have Nakasero. The person will tell you, that is a bit far. And you're like, this person is saying it is a bit far, but his blood can save someone. And you're like, okay, we are going to improvise and come to your community. Then when you go to the community, the person will tell you, today I don't feel like donating.
I've changed my mind.
I changed my mind. And they're like, but we have different countries, our neighboring countries, where we have people knowing when they are supposed to donate, even if they don't see a team. They usually go to the blood bank and donate. Because, if at all I donated, let's say, for me I last donated on the 29th day Now I'm supposed to donate on the 29th day of December. So when the 29th of December reaches, why shouldn't I go to the blood bank and donate, even if you are going to be in the festive season? I know you are going to be enjoying with family, but as you enjoy, someone is busy struggling with life on sick bed.
It is interesting that, of course, these pieces of information go away unnoticed, and this is how much we need the blood. And if you are out there and you're interested, please do reach out to any blood bank, either Nakasero, Mengo, and if you are upcountry, we also have some blood centers over there: Arua, Gulu, Hoima, Lira, Jinja, Kabale, very many districts where you can go and donate blood and save a life. As you have heard, the need for blood is very, very high, and whatever you do will contribute immensely, and you'll never know how much you have saved the world by donating your blood. My name is Carol. We are taking a very short break, and we are returning with more about blood donation. Kindly don't go away.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
You're welcome back to Issues at Hand. Thank you so much for keeping it Church of Uganda Family TV. And of course, remember, we are on social media at COU Family TV. The conversation is live on our YouTube. Please do follow through and see what we have got for you. Blood donation is a gift that saves lives, as you can see on your screens. And that is exactly what we are trying to discuss this morning. With me in studio is Kasozi Brian, and we are continuing the conversation as per in regards to that. Now, Brian is the officer electronic blood donor recruitment at the Red Cross Society. Now let's start with blood sale. We understand, it has come to our understanding that some people sell blood. This is affecting the cycle of donation, and we want to understand how. Can you please shed more light on that?
Thank you so much. The sale of blood is prominent these days, and the last scenario was in Bali Regional Referral Hospital, where they found around 35 units of blood that were kept in the different fridges of a certain hospital which was not supposed to do blood transfusion. So they usually pick the blood from different transfusing hospitals, then take the blood to those facilities that are not supposed to do blood transfusion to gain some money. Even it happens in other transfusing facilities. We have heard from the different patients and the different blood donors, because sometimes a donor can also become a patient. They usually call us and tell us that in this transfusing facility, they are asking me for money to give me blood, and we know blood is not for sale. And usually, even on that blood bag, it is the sticker is always there. Blood is not for sale. Usually, the transfusing facilities have funny methods of getting money out of the patient. They will tell the patient that we don't have the blood you need, but if at all you can get us 180,000 for fuel to fuel our ambulance, we can go and pick the blood. After giving them the money, they'll go to the different fridges within their blood bank and pick the blood from there and give you the blood. And to create awareness, these transfusing facilities never tell you that this is the receipt for blood, even if you pay, because usually ask them, okay, you paid for the blood. Did they give you a receipt? They'll tell you no, they did not give me a receipt, and you're like, what did you pay for? And this sale of blood happens between two people. That is the funny bit. We have a patient or a donor that wants to save a relative, and we also have a different medic. Sometimes they are not medics. Usually it happens even in the corridors.
Brokers.
Yes, we have different brokers in the different transfusing facilities. So, for the safety of the medic will tell maybe a cleaner to collect money from the patient. Then after collecting money, the cleaner will take the money to the doctor or to the nurse, and they will share that money. After, they will give you the blood.
Illegal.
So, it is quite funny, because usually I don't know how they equate money to a person's life, because sometimes even if you fail to give them the money, they won't give you the blood.
Hey,
but the funny bit is,
do you have some names of these? Because now
I prefer not to name, but
we are ironing out the country.
It is all over social media. Even I remember last time it was a certain minister that went to a certain transfusing facility still, and they requested money from the minister, not knowing that the person was a minister, because
imagine that
she was disguised in a Muslim attire, and they did not notice. After getting them,
because
they
it's
started
a
saying,
crime.
I tell you, it is like this, we just this calito. Now, for the sale of blood, it is there, but we say blood should not be sold. And the reason as to why it is still there, that is what we are working on. Blood is treated just like any other medicine. And we came out straight and we told ministry that we should get a law specifically against the sale of blood, because blood is not just like any other medicine that you sell like Panadol, and they are working on it. Then we also tell our blood donors, because it gets back to us, the people that come back to the community saying that we need the blood, because we always face those questions. There is no transfusing facility that goes back to the community saying we need the blood. It is always Uganda Red Cross, Uganda Blood Transfusion Service. And the blame is always on us. A donor will tell you that you sold blood to me. And you're like, did the facility where you go to have a word Uganda Red Cross or Uganda Blood Transfusion Service? They'll mention for you the name of the transfusing facility and you will tell them that is not our transfusing facility. Our role is to make sure that those different transfusing facilities that are licensed have the blood that you need. And usually you tell them that we usually give them the blood on time. Because even if you go to the blood bank right now, we have those different ambulances from different transfusing facilities waiting for the blood. And usually when they come, they give them the blood for free.
Okay.
They don't even charge for that blood. But when they take that blood to their transfusing facility,
For them, they want to sell it.
I don't know if at all it is the payment that is not okay with the medics, but we usually request you that before soliciting money out of these patients, look at the side of the life. If at all you delay to transfuse that person, we are going to lose the life. Then also we tell the blood donors, the patients that are getting money out of their pockets to pay for the blood, they can reach us, out to us. We have a toll-free line that is 0800 211 088. It is 0800 211 088. It is available day and night, 24/7. When you call in, just tell us the transfusing facility where you have been admitted, the units of blood that they need, and usually we ask you for a blood request form. Usually a medic gives you that form. That form usually stipulates the number of units that the patient wants and the blood group. When we get that, we will be able to mobilize for the blood and you'll get the blood for free, because it is upon us. Usually they say that bad news travels faster than good news.
Of course.
So if at all you have that one patient that has had a bad experience, that person is going to influence other 500 not to donate blood. And if at all you miss out on the 500, that means also the stock is going to go low and the demand is always high. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, the diseases that you find after donating blood, as you said, are you in any capacity, or do you have a mandate to call back the patient and say, by the way, we found this and this in your blood, and I think you're suffering from this? Or do you just keep quiet and throw away the blood, like you said?
Okay, that is a bit technical, but this is what we do. We test for 3 diseases, that is HIV, syphilis, hepatitis B and C. If at all we find one of those diseases in your blood is discarded. It is banned for other people's safety, because we can't just go dumping blood anywhere. We ban the blood. Now, if at all we find any of those listed diseases in your blood, we have counselors. They usually go back to the community, because some of the people come to donate not knowing that they contracted that disease maybe a night before. So usually we go back to the community with counselors. They give those people their results. And we don't give results on phone. No. We cannot call you and say, Brian, you know what? As we were testing, we found your blood having A, B, C, and D. No, that is not technical. We usually go back to the community. We first take them through that counseling process. Even if your blood is negative or positive, you have to go through that counseling process. Then after the counseling process, for us, we don't give certain services, but we partner with those entities like TASO, Uganda Cares, where these people can go for medical attention. So we usually do a referral. We tell you that this is what we found in your blood, but it can be handled in such and such a way, and we tell you that from today onwards you are going to go to these people, they are going to support you in such and such a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, people buy blood, as we're talking about blood sale, they buy blood because of being desperate.
Yeah.
They need it. So maybe this is the time we should point out where, if they need blood, they should go. Where exactly they should find the blood instead of risking to buy it.
Okay. That is a bit crucial. Usually, there is a donor that told me, they usually give us those cards and tell us that if at all you need the blood in the transfusion facility and you show that card to the medic, they will give you the blood. But myself, for me, I tried it and they told me,
Hey.
And we are like, Now, if at all you need the blood, the first line is the person who is working on you. If at all the person who is working on you, the medic who is working on you, is not able to give you the blood, we have the different blood banks and the different blood collection centers. You can come at one of the different blood banks or collection center that is next to you. But we have scenarios where a patient is a bit far. So we usually tell people to call on our toll free, because as Brian, I know that if at all a person is in Mbale have these different focal persons that can help and support that person get the blood. If at all the patient is in Fort Portal, I can call so and so and they take the blood. So if at all they face those challenges, you go to the blood bank or a blood collection center. They will be able to support you because they know that you are our customers. The hospital does not know that you are our customers. The hospital look at blood as any other medicine. But for us, we know the hassle we usually go through in the communities to pick the blood from the different blood donors.
Okay.
So we also commit that if at all a different blood donor needs the blood, we are going to give you the blood. Then we also had another story somewhere saying that they told us that if at all for us we are not blood donors, we are not supposed to receive the blood. That is totally not true. It is a lie.
Okay.
If you are a blood donor or not, your patient is entitled to get blood. For example, we have people that are born with certain illnesses that cannot donate. So if at all you say that a person who does not donate cannot receive blood, those people will die. We have people with HIV, we have people with sickle cells. Those people don't donate, but they need the blood. So if at all you tell them that for you are not donating, you are not going to give you blood, they will die. Blood is free and blood is for all, even if you are a blood donor or not. But we usually encourage people that can donate to donate.
Okay.
Yes.
Talking about encouraging people that can donate to donate, we have someone on YouTube watching and they're asking where they can go for blood donation. I think they are interested in donating blood. These drives happen, I know, but there are some times when, like, I've not seen it in a while around this Kampala Central. So where can one go if they want to donate the blood? I think this is very good news. Some people are willing to actually donate.
Okay. For donating blood, if at all you are not in your communities, you can go to the different blood banks around the different regions. In Kampala here we have Mengo and Nakasero. We have a blood bank in Barara, Fort Portal, we have in Mbale, Soroti. Around Uganda I have different blood banks, but also our teams work on a daily basis. For you will be busy enjoying the festive season, but we shall be working. Because blood is collected on a daily, because it is also needed on a daily basis.
Yes.
So we usually have different teams, different field teams in the in different locations. So I don't know where that person is, but if at all you know the location of that person, you can always advise that you can go to this different blood donation center or blood donation site.
Okay.
Yeah. And around Kampala here, even just next to us, we have a blood donation center that is permanent at just next to DTB Bank. We are always there on a daily.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and another question is that can a 17-year-old donate blood to a 65-year-old? What's the age? Or it's just blood in general?
Yeah, usually we look at a person's age, and we said from 17 to 65. A 17-year-old can donate to a 60-year-old, can donate to an 80-year-old, because when it comes to transfusion, we don't have a certain age limit that for transfusion it is supposed to happen on these people around this age bracket. So a 17-year-old can donate to all the people. Then you also have another funny question that usually disturbs my mind. They usually ask us that can a Christian donate to a Muslim? And we're like, blood is blood. Blood is blood. Even if blood is from a white person or a black person, it will remain blood, provided that it matches or it is compatible with that person who is supposed to receive. So saying that maybe Muslims should donate to Muslims, no, blood remains blood. And when you are being transfused, you just feel that component of life coming back to you.
It's been a very great pleasure having you on the show. I think you can say your last words as we wrap up because of time. However, I think the viewers have really picked something.
Thank you so much. As we close the show, I would like to appeal to the different organizations and the different stakeholders that would need to conduct blood donation sessions in this festive season, because the need is going to be high, to reach out to Uganda Red Cross at their toll-free line, that is 0800-211-088. We shall be able to come and collect blood, maybe from your employees, from your family. Any opportunity of collecting blood, we are going to be there, because we want to save lives during this festive season. And I always advise people to not drink and drive, and also drive safely. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brian, and our regards to the blood team, the blood donation and collection team, and the Red Cross Society at large. And the conversation is still ongoing on our YouTube, and you can go there and drop your questions. I assure you they will be answered. And of course, if you have those numbers that he has read, then you have the hotline for them to come and do drives in your company, in your area, at home. And one thing I forgot is that the people who don't understand English, how exactly do they cater for them? Like, do they make sure that they send people who know the local languages to talk to them and tell them the benefits of donating blood or not? Anyway, we shall have to find that out next time. I hope that you picked a thing or two and that you are going to go save your community by donating some blood. The blood that you donate is not enough to make you ill. It is not enough to make you die, as you people think. So if you do it, it is just because you are going to save a life out there, and you do not want to know what people are going through in hospitals. But anyway, it is the end of Issues at Hand, and until tomorrow, from myself, the production crew, everybody that was part of the team, it is a good morning from us.
Issues at Hand, powered by